Good morning, Southwest. Today we are going to talk about AMI Day 24 for 8th grade math. Today is April 23rd. Let's read the question. Give a reason why each one might not belong to the other three. And so we have four graphs, and we're going to talk about how each one of the graphs doesn't belong with the other three. So in other words, what's different about graph A than the rest of the graphs? And the big hint is the vocabulary word bank. You want to look at things in terms of slope, in terms of y-intercept. Is it increasing or decreasing? So let's talk about that. When we talk about slope, we talk about the fact that it can be positive. And so positive slope, it increases from left to right. We can have a negative slope that decreases from left to right. And then we can have a slope of 0 where the line is completely flat. So look at things in terms of slope. If that doesn't work, then we talk about the fact that two lines that have the same slope are said to be parallel. And if they're parallel, that means they don't ever cross. If they don't ever cross, that means that the system that's represented by the two lines is no solution because they don't cross. So as I look at A, B, C, and D, it looks like only one of them are going to intersect because they have different slopes. So that might be a reason that is different, because it's going to have a solution where the other parallel ones are not. So that's a possibility. You can also look at the fact that if I have a positive or negative slope, then my slope has a value other than 0. If I have a flat line, then my slope has no value. My slope is 0. And then finally we talk about y-intercept. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. And as you look through this, it looks as if only one of them has a y-intercept that goes through the origin. So you may look at that as a possible reason as why it's different than the others. So again, as I look through this, graph A does not belong. Why? Well, let's start with its slope, and then if the slope doesn't seem to differentiate, then we may look at the fact that how many solutions it has, what its y-intercept is, etc., etc. So look through this. Hopefully this will be a good review for you, because we have talked about comparing graphs, slope, y-intercept, etc. Have a good day, Cougars.